Yeah, hi there, and welcome back. So let us continue with our lesson, and we'll go and create a diffutil class, and we'll implement it for our recycle view adapter. So first of all, let's go to the tax adapter class over here. This is an adapter class for us, and I'll just go at the bottom of this class, and I'll create a new class. So CLASS class, and we'll call it as let's say tax diffutil. So the class name is tax diffutil, and we will take a constructor parameter over here, and I'll just call it as var old tax list. And this is a list of the, here we call it as a tax list. Just copy and paste it over here. And the second parameter will also take the, let's say, var of a new tax list. So this is a new tax list, and which is of the list of the tax entity. Okay, so we have a two constructor parameter, and which is of the old tax list and a new tax list. And then this class should extend the diffutil. So we have a diffutil dot callback. So we will implement a callback, which is Android x.recycle view that we get the diffutil. Just make use of this class and initialize it. And then when you initialize it there, we have to implement some of the members. So let's implement all of the members over here. Just select all of the member and click on implement. So now we have implementation. So let us first of all get old size. So get old size, so it should return an int. So I will go and return the old. So we have a old tax list dot this size. We return this size. And similarly for the new list size, so the new list size is of equals to new, we have a tax list dot, we have this size. So we will return this size. And the thing, another thing that we have is are items the same. So what does actually it does is, if you go to the implementation of this class, let's go to the, where is that one? I think here, diffutil class. So are item the same? It's not the one. So let me try to find are items the same. So here is the are items the same. If you check over here, it takes the two parameter, one of all item position and new item position. That's it over here, the all item position and then new item position. And what does it actually call by the diffutil to decide whether the two object represents a same item. So particularly is the item. So whether two object represents the same item. For example, if your item have a unique ID, which is basically a unique ID. Let's say if we have a record ID, that should be a unique one. So we have a unique record ID. This method should check whether their ID is equality. So what we have to do is, if we go to our over here, so it checks for the particular the ID. So ID of this. So if we go to the tax entity, I think we should have a unique ID. So this is a primary key. So we should basically check the primary key over here, whether it is the same or not. So it says that we need to check some of the unique items have a unique ID. So we need to check whether the unique ID of both the old list and the new list are the same. So we'll make use of this class and we'll just check over here. So what we will check is, we will return the old list. So first we have to check the old tax list and the position. We provide the old position, right? So old item position dot the ID. So ID is a unique over here, which is of equals to. I will check for the new tax list and the new item position dot ID. So whether it's two ID is same or not. So if this is not same, that means there is some change. And the next is over here, the R content the same. So content basically checks for the particular all of the contents. So this is one content and this is one content. So it basically checks whether there is some changes in the content. And if you go to this diff util class, and here is R item the same, and here is our content the same. So it takes a two integer parameter, which is of old item position and the new item position, and called by the diff util when it wants to check whether the two items have the same data. So it's basically checking whether the two particular items have the same data or not. And the diff util use this information to detect if the content of the item has been changed. So whether we have updated any item or not, it's going to detect on this particular. So diff util this use method to check the equality instead of the equals, and so that you can check its behavior depending on the UI. So we can use this one. So if we go over here, it checks the R item, this same checks the unique ID. So it's checking for the unique ID, but here it wants to check whether the two items has the same data. So that's the difference. And what we will do is we will return from here, it will return, and I will return the old. First I have to check the old task list. We have to pass the we have the all item position, so we need to pass that, not just the particular the list. We have to check particular the if you go over here, it if you want to check two items, so basically we are checking the item. So I need to pass the all item position over here, so that